Hi everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra here today at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale. They get us over on the 5 Bay here with Cara Conry from Spirit Firearms Training. You've seen her on the channel. She is a premier firearms instructor out of Bentonville, Arkansas. But one of the things with being a firearms instructor is you don't get to freaking shoot very much.
You don't.
And so Cara was here in the Valley for Christmas, well, just a little ways away in Tucson, and so she decided to come up, so we're gonna shoot a little. Throwing targets are lightweight, weatherproof, take thousands of rounds of shooting and make shooting fun. Pick up a set for your next range trip. So that's this weird thing, Cara, we don't get to shoot as much as we want to as firearms instructors.
Absolutely.
Why not?
I think it's because we put so much stock in time with our students that we fill our time with our students. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I don't know. You know, we have life, we have real jobs. I have a real job still.
Right.
You know?
I mean, the vast majority of firearms instructors, there's only very few.
It's a part-time thing.
Yeah, who are full-time.
So having to work around the real job, but every chance I can fill with a slot when the range is open, I generally put students in it. So.
Right. Well, see, and there it is too, is that range space, especially in a place where you're using indoor ranges, where you're, you know, these are premium spots and they're expensive. And so you're like, gosh, man, just to find the time, the ability. But of course, I know that you're a dry fire monster. I
am. I enjoy my dry fire. It's almost a relaxing 10 or 15 minutes a day. It's just me, and it's doing something I love to do. I just don't get the bang and the recoil. Right. And I'm a data-driven person. I'm a challenge-driven person. I love shooting drills when I do get to shoot. So dry fire provides me. I work with a lot of tools in my dry fire. I don't. You know, you can dry fire with just a gun.
That's 100%, right?
But,
safely,
but
a barrel block, we'd
like
suggest.
I like all the tools and the tips and the data.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm kind of a data junkie. I like to look at progress and quantify everything.
Yeah,
So.
I love my X10 Mantis. I love my Laser Academy. I've been playing with the Blackbeard X like crazy, and man, I love that thing for defensive carbine. I think it's great. I think, you know, having shot timers and those, man, data is awesome. But of course, the only thing you can't get in dry fire is you can't get recoil.
Nope,
and so the gun is just not going to, you've got to fire the gun enough to have that. So let's get to the line, let Cara warm up a little bit. She hasn't, you know, been able to live fire for 3 or 4 weeks, which honestly, when we say, gosh, man, I haven't actually got live fire in 3 or 4 weeks, for most people, that's life, right?
Oh, yeah, that's normal.
I mean, 3 or 4 months for most people is.
4 years.
Yeah, it could be.
I've seen it.
Could
be.
be.
A lot.
Let's get out on the line. Let's shoot a little bit. Let's have some fun. All right, Miss Cara, up to the 5-yard line. We're just gonna use a B8, and you know, here's what I'd suggest. I saw a great video on the Surefire channel from Ben Steger. And of course, you know, that dude knows a thing or two, right? And he likes to work on firing pairs because that's how you track your dot, right? So why don't you do that? Why don't you just take your time, but when you see the dot and you press that first shot, as soon as you see that second there, and pick an area. So I don't care if you want to say it's X-ring for me right now. I know you're an accuracy first shooter.
I am.
But whether that's you want to do an X or a 9 or an 8, pick it and go.
Okay.
Try that for a magazine.
Okay.
Of course, Cara carries a VP9 because she's a woman of taste and sophistication. Okay, friends, the first thing you're noticing is at that speed, 5 yards, she's probably running dot 4 or so, and she's getting X, 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 X.
Well, there's one, no, there is a 10. So.
Well, okay. All right, keep at it.
Oh, I lost it out there. Didn't have a good grip.
Boy, your grip looks fantastic to me.
My pinky was off.
Okay, so now I want you to frame that in a positive light. My dot does what I want it to do when my pinky stays on my hand.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yes.
Right? So I have best success when my support hand pinky stays on my dominant hand.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And grips it.
Right.
Grips it. Up.
And we're out. Yes. And I know somebody's going to complain about that. Remember, I know a ton of HK shooters. Now, Cara's a righty, I'm a lefty. It does the same thing for me. Why? Because I grip the gun so high. And that's a very common thing. And you know what? Since reloads are vanishingly insignificant parts of private citizen gunfights, like, remember how many times we've seen reloaded rounds affect a gunfight in private citizen encounters? that many. I don't care. I'd rather have the really strong grip on the gun.
And that was awesome to have that validation to go, you know what? Because for the longest time when I started, I was, okay, got to get, my slide lock to stay back. And it's not just this gun, it's almost every gun. I can't get the slide lock to stay back.
So here's another thing, and I know some people, there's an ethic that says, well, if I'm a competitive shooter though, I really need to change that because I need to get that slide lock. Most competitive shooters that I know, they don't wait till slide lock in order to reload their gun. You don't want to wait till slide lock in order to reload your gun. You want to proactively reload the gun when you're moving because then you functionally get it for free, right? If you're doing a standing reload that like bang, bang, and my gun locks back and I got to reload it, that'll kill you at the higher levels of USPSA. So even there, I don't think that the slide lock is as big a deal as we kind of think it is. Right. The only one maybe is for cops. And again, what's the number one cause of reloads in officer-involved shootings? It's not big, protracted, extended gunfights. It's panic firing through the first magazine. And once you're done panic firing through the first magazine, then you reload the gun and you think, oh, I need to get hits, and then the hits start coming. So I encourage those cops, hey, when the gun comes out, I need to get hits right now, and that's where that goes. So anyhow, tell me about your feedback on your eyeballs and the recoil on the gun.
The dry fire's helping. Because I went through probably 2 or 3 months where I haven't done a lot of dry fire and got back on the horse about, 3 weeks ago. And I'm actually pleasantly pleased on what I'm seeing that dot come in.
I mean, obviously, and listen, at the speeds that you're shooting, that kind of cadence is fantastic, right? So let's do another magazine, and let's go 3 shots, and I want you to pick your pace up.
Okay.
So all I want you to do is find your ragged edge.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Run
and just
it hard.
Yeah. So it's
on the edge.
And you want the wheels to wobble, right? So if you start spraying them outside the 8-ring, okay, the wheels have fallen off, right? But if I can keep them here, where most of them are here, occasionally to here, okay, that's where my wheels are wobbling, and that helps me to push a little bit more. Try it.
Okay.
I want you to notice that Cara has a great upright posture and brings the gun to her. Okay, tell me what your dot was doing.
It actually, I've really worked on that left-hand grip and the pinky, because I've never used to be a pinky person. And I honestly, sometimes that dot didn't even look at the window, which that's like, Armageddon to me, because usually my dot flies way off and comes in.
Okay. Well, and I think sometimes people think, oh, okay, well, for all people it does that. Honestly, that's grip strength related, is where that is. I mean, if you have 140 pounds of grip strength in each hand, well, then the dot is not going to leave the window because your muzzle's only rising 4 or 5 degrees.
Right.
That's life. But not everybody has that. And, if you don't, and if you're not a power lifter, you probably don't, then you're going to see that dot. But seeing it stay in the window, I'm telling you, that pinky pressure is really where it's at, right?
It makes a big difference. And I've really been focusing on that in dry fire because I let them go. And when I shoot competition, I tell myself, grip the gun, just grip the gun. So. Yep.
All right, you ready for some draws?
Okay.
All right, madam. So now on this one, again, let's do 2.
Okay.
Okay. It was one of the things I loved about Brian's red dot class. He's like, look, man, what we see is that when it's 2 shots, it changes your time, right?
Yes, they do.
Right. So
and bill drill's my downfall. So doing this makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, you're doing great here. So that's amazing. Just do me a favor, don't shoot the camera.
I will do my best.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready? You just want to do one, just a dry draw so you feel it?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Do that.
Okay. Go to A zone. Feel comfortable with that? See that flash of dot? And here we go. You ready? Stand by. All right, there's a 1. Pick that up off the counter. 144 there. Okay, 144. Cool. Now let's do 2.
Okay.
Shooter ready? Stand by. Beautiful. So that was a 132 first shot. and a 162 total. So a 132 and a .3 transition. Okay, shooter ready? Stand by. .164, very consistent, 131 and a .3 transition. Now that's a big A zone you've got there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the other thing, are you seeing the hesitation at the end? You're confirming a dot?
I might be.
You're confirming about 3/10.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you weren't seeing the dot and you got to find it, okay, fine. But if you've got it, finish.
Okay.
Make sense? All right, stand by. Drop the Bravo. Did you know if that Bravo was your first or your second?
I think it was my first.
I was watching you, not watching it.
It was my first, and I just pushed it down.
Yeah, happens to the best of us. So you tightened your split up to a quarter. That's a quarter-second split. That's pretty fast. Again, on a target this size, that's, where you should be, something like that. As long as you could see it. Could you see your dot?
I did.
Great.
I did.
Life is good. All right, one more. Stand by. Beautiful, right on that edge.
See the top, I had to bring it down.
Okay.
So I saw it, pressed the trigger, it was coming down, I caught the top of the A box.
Perfect. Life is good, right? Now listen, there's no A+ box.
No, there's not. I've been working on that.
This is what happens when you're working with an accuracy first shooter, right?
Yes.
All right, last one. Ready? Stand by. Now, that was your best work of the day.
Yeah.
That
felt awesome.
A 118 with a quarter split.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing on earth just about that you can't solve with a 1.18 drawn and first hit, right? Yeah. And so, I know that the 1 second is everybody's stupid human trick. But honestly, I'd rather somebody know beyond a shadow of a doubt they've got a 1.2 than chase a .8. And it does require a crazy amount of work to kind of keep down in those. So, and obviously your accuracy is good. How you feeling?
Good.
All right.
Good.